What are you doing here?
Uh, I'm just filling the void, no?
Why are you here?
I'm here because you trust me enough to co-host your podcast because you want to support the youth and you like me on a personal level. And I can't be more grateful to that. So thank you, Ronnie. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did this, okay, like before I asked you for the Natalie Aukar interview, did it occur to you after the Alias or the MTV episodes that this might happen?
Okay, so just for reference, Natalie Aukar is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, that I profiled her for Lyon today.
Right. And you wrote an article about her. It was
Yes.
really well written. It was, I could imagine that as a podcast episode. So
Okay.
that was one thing. The second thing was the feedback I got from our recent episodes, both MTV and Alias. The feedback I got was overwhelmingly positive. Even once on the street, I don't know if she'll be listening to this, Dunya,
Yeah.
a fan of ours, told me at 2 a.m. just how invested she was in those discussions, that she learned a lot. Maybe Alia's more than MTV for me because I could tell the audience was tuned in, and I could also appreciate that you and your family were enjoying it, and it kind of felt
And friends and colleagues,
yeah, it felt natural.
Yeah. I should say, like, it's nice when someone sees talent in you, when very little people do. Like, I haven't tried it before, but it's the feeling is nice.
Well, good, because you were very shy with the cameras at MTV,
Yeah,
and we just wrapped up our first episode,
yeah,
and you were totally fine.
Yeah.
So you got over the initial hesitation.
it's still there. It's
still
the
there.
gradual
Yeah.
process. Yeah.
Just to clarify, I'm not stepping away. I'm just letting you speak. Maybe in topics I'm not fluent in, and maybe from time to time I could do other things other than the podcast and writing. I'd like to explore more creativity. To be honest.
We don't want you to go away, though. But
No,
yeah,
I'm not going anywhere.
yeah.
Just letting you speak on my behalf sometimes.
Yeah.
But you want to address a few things, and I know that you're always interested in mental health. I'm not so smart in that subject, so it's good. You're a reminder that we need to talk about that. I know that you also have a concern for free expression. So Natalie Aukar, she came and went. But are there other things you'd like to talk about when it comes to expression? Do you want comedians? Do you want journalists? Can you imagine the type of guest?
Comedians, definitely. Also, I'm I have passion for mental health, like to talk about it. I also have I'm very interested in the comedy world, so definitely comedians, journalists as well, my colleagues. I would love to interview a colleague. Yeah, and in Lebanon, sometimes not everyone can express whatever opinions they have. So maybe we can do an episode about that.
The last thing you wanted to touch on, wherever it's possible, nuance discussions with regards to Hezbollah in the south today. I'm glad you want to do that, and you have an interest in research. So it's like people that they don't have anything to gain or lose. They're just monitoring, not being politically active. I like that.
I think the first guest was definitely that.
So let's talk about
I'm
him.
so impressed.
Muhammad Haj Ali
Yes.
from Carnegie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, he's a sober analyst and a researcher,
Yeah.
which is, I think, the right voice to talk about what's happening at the moment, away from the emotions.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. We can get in trouble for provoking. And I think social media is where most of that happens. But I never see him on the social media debate, which is good.
Yeah.
He's in a way above the discussion. So
No.
I'm glad he's the first guest.
Yeah. I'm glad as well.
So that comes out Thursday evening
Yeah.
with Wael Taleb. I show up at the end, just a brief cameo, but it's really your discussion. And we'll see where things go.
Hopefully people will like the episode.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I think they will. If they liked our earlier episodes, they'll like what you're doing here.
Inshallah. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you, Wael.